Hi, I'm Officer Laliker with the Los Angeles Airport Police Recruitment Unit, and this is Officer Spotlight. Today we will be getting some insight on the Los Angeles Airport Police Field Training Program from one of our field training officers, also known as FTO, Officer Aminian. Officer Aminian was born in Iran, raised in France, and immigrated to the United States at the age of 16. He is fluent in 4 languages. He obtained his degree from the University of Southern California in Finance and Marketing. Prior to becoming an officer, he managed his own business with approximately 25 employees. Officer Aminian graduated from the LAXPD Academy and has been with our department since 2009. He has been commended for his exemplary work ethic. He has been an FTO for approximately 5 years and has trained about 70 new officers. Let's meet Officer Aminian. So, Officer Aminian, can you tell us a little bit about the Los Angeles Airport Police Field Training Program?
Sure. So the FTO program consists of 22 weeks, 4 phases. You're going to be assigned to 3 different FTOs, your phase 1 and phase 4. It's going to be the same FTO. You're going to work on 3 different shifts. You're going to have the day shift, the swing shift, and the graveyard shift. And also you are going to be evaluated on daily and weekly basis.
Okay, 22 weeks, that sounds pretty extensive. What is covered during those 22 weeks? What curriculum do you guys cover during the FTO program?
Day-to-day police calls, officer safety, tactics, geography, report writing, department policies and procedures, case laws, traffic stops, and many more.
During the training program, what are some of the challenges you see that these trainees are having?
Well, the 3 main ones that I see in trainees, number 1 is the academy mode transition to the real world. A lot of trainees have a hard time doing so. When they graduate from the academy, they're very robotic and they have a hard time realizing this is the real world out there, dealing with real people. Number 2, I would say radio discipline. A lot of trainees are very timid and have a hard time broadcasting over the radio. And number 3, I would say report writing. A lot of trainees have a hard time completing a report with enough information and, of course, most important, the elements of the crime written in the report.
Yeah, I definitely remember the transition from the sterile environment to real life situations was definitely eye-opening, especially for a lot of us that maybe perhaps were never in a fight and now we have to face that here. That would be a real world situation. And then report writing, I totally agree. Here we just write the facts, and when you're in school sometimes you have to add other things, but here we try to keep it just facts, and I can totally see that being a challenge for some of these trainees. How do you help them overcome these challenges?
Well, as an FTO, you have to be a mentor, a coordinator, a motivator. You have to use the different learning styles. For example, for the academy mode, I will tell the trainees and make them understand that this is the real world. We're dealing with real people, with real human beings, and you can't make any mistakes like you did in the academy. For radio, I will basically show them how to communicate over the police radio and have that radio discipline. And for report writing, I would either give them an example or dictate them what to write.
Okay. What are some of the expectations you set forth for your trainees?
My expectation is for a trainee to be efficient, motivated, disciplined, take pride in their work, and understand the meaning of liability. Being a police officer, you have a lot of authority. That authority comes with responsibility, and that responsibility could have a lot of liability. So they have to understand the meaning and the importance of liability.
I think it is key that you mentioned that wearing this uniform, we are seen as an authoritative figure, and therefore we have to be very responsible for all that we do.
Right.
What would you say is the most challenging for you as an FTO?
I would say when a trainee has a hard time passing the FTO program, that's where you have to improvise and use all the learning styles. Some trainees, you have to show them, so they're visual. Some trainees, you have to write it down for them. Whatever it takes for them to successfully pass the FTO program. Being an FTO is very challenging and rewarding. During the training process, while you're educating the trainees about police encounters, policies, and procedures, you have to make sure they maintain their professionalism, and at the same time they are maintained motivated. As an FTO, you have to be a motivator and a coordinator by creating a positive and healthy work environment that recognizes proactivity and work ethic.
Very well said. I agree. You do have to create a conducive learning environment for these individuals. What would you say keeps you motivated? I know that you've been an FTO for 5 years. You're one of the more senior ones here, having trained over 70 plus trainees. What keeps you motivated coming every day to work, knowing that you're going to do the same thing?
I love being a police officer. I love getting involved in police related calls. I love observing a crime, recognizing the elements of the crime, completing a police report, go and testify at the court. That's one aspect of it. The second aspect, I've traveled to more than 50 countries around the world. I'm familiar with many different cultures. This is the gate to the international world, and I like to assist our stakeholders, our international passengers, and of course our community. That gives me a satisfaction.